I'm not Gracie had created this, so well, yeah, wellness and health, I believe that would all be as one. But there needs to be one flyer that's going to be for the Teen Wellness and Opportunities Fair. So we need at least one person who wants to take the lead. If there's someone who really enjoys making flyers, awesome.
Great.
Perfect. There we go. And then the big thing for that is I'll just share screen if we have any viewers. I don't think we have anyone, but just in case. Let me know. For Canva. Okay, well, I did have Canva open. Don't know where it went. Oh, no, it's with Zoom. Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. So we'll connect on Slack because I have a couple examples of past flyers so that you can either revamp it or have, just for inspiration and stuff. And the big thing is making sure that I have access to it so that we can make sure our logo's on it and then make any edits as we need to. So you and I connect on Slack.
Say January 27th is the right.
Is yes, it needs to be completed by the subcommittee meeting, so that we can get that pushed out. And ideally, the sooner we can have something, even if it's just kind of a basic kind of save the date, will help with awareness to hopefully get more organizations interested in participating in addition to your efforts that you are all doing. So perfect. Thank you.
We want to get this up before the fun run so we're able to properly advertise and so that people know about it, because last year I had some people come up to me the day before and were like, oh, I didn't know this was happening. If I known, I would have come, but now I have some other plans. So we really want to be not procrastinating on this. Okay, and the plan for tonight what?
So then I was gonna say, so let's just talk updates from the wellness, the health committee. What are the updates then so far for this event from when we last spoke at the
For health or wellness?
What isn't it one or no? Is health the committee or wellness?
For which?
Being higher than so.
The committee. So we have career and education committee, and then is it health and wellness committee?
It's health is one, and then wellness is the other.
Oh, wellness is a different.
Wellness first.
Okay, sure. Yep.
Okay. Does the wellness committee have any updates about your progress with this event, your outreach, or what were your goals from last subcommittee? Let's start there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who is in the wellness committee?
That's yes. I think.
Oh my gosh.
But okay. So I think there's a little bit of a typo here. So we have a community committee, career and education committee, and health committee. Is that correct?
Yeah, sorry guys.
No worries. That's okay. There was an error there. So again, let's start with the health wellness committee. Updates from when we last met at the subcommittee meeting. We need updates from that since then.
Okay, I'll start. We were supposed to reach out and get all of our emails for our business outreaches and try to get sponsors. So I checked the doc. I'm pretty sure we got all the emails and you were planning on sending them, as well as Archa and Monvic, right? Did that end up happening, or
yeah,
right? Did we get responses?
Because I remember there was a message sent in Slack. Maybe I missed the follow-up, but
yeah.
I don't think we ever received one.
So the update then for that part is yes. So thank you for updating the emails for that. I sent out from the Campbell Youth Commission Gmail because we need to have it only from here. The invite to all the organizations that you shared. So again, great job. Thank you for gathering that information. And now we are waiting to hear back from people if they want to attend. We have heard back from
Downtown Youth Wellness and Second Harvest. They've received your information and your invitation, and they are working on it. So they said they'll get back to us. And then we have Alcove. The email said that the request has been sent to the Palo Alto branch.
Mm-hmm.
So we're waiting to hear from them. And then the last one was the bar method. I guess it's a Campbell downtown business. They at this point are not tabling only because they don't cater to teens. So,
So yeah, so what we'll connect with then on Slack is we had discussed then going in person to visit now the organizations and following up with phone calls for those who we haven't heard about. So I will update the list so that you know who it is from what we just talked about tonight. And then we'll need you to connect all of you on Slack in that committee to divvy up who's going to be reaching out to who.
Yeah, so we have a spreadsheet with everyone. We're going in either a pair or a group of three in like either the prune yard as one group and basically everywhere else as the other. And we were supposed to do that like New Year's Eve week, but we were like, the businesses might be closed or they might be really busy. So we were going to go another time, which we are supposed to schedule. So that is our Slack homework is to schedule our next one. Do you think we should like wait a little longer for other visitors to reply or?
So I would say, no, I would say that by this Friday, I would like to hear from you on Slack is what dates you've selected that you're going to go to the businesses. And I will have I can have the letter available for you to have like an actual copy of it to provide.
Okay, great.
So by this, I would say this Friday by noon. So.
Great. Does anyone else from the health committee want to share updates, thoughts?
I just actually wanted to know, do you know the exact date that we sent all the emails? Because I know we had them all prepped on a specific date, but
They went out that
the
Friday.
that same.
Was that when we connected? Was that Friday the 20th? Yeah. Yeah, I sent them all on Friday the 20th.
Just wanted to know what the gap was.
Yeah.
And you'll share like the letter via Slack so
Mhm.
we can print it out. Great.
Yep. I'll have the update letter for you.
Anyone else? Hopefully one more. Caleb?
Hopefully I'll do so.
I'll just add from the liaison our update. So I know the request was you want to have like karate, martial arts, a part of the event. Hans, who is an instructor here, who teaches classes for youth and adults, is very excited to teach an intro session. And so he did suggest that breaking boards is not a great intro class for people with no experience, probably for not wanting people to get hurt. But he can start for the intro class can involve kicking bags and dynamic teaching. So he's on board and very excited to be a part of this event.
Yep. Oh, and I just want to reiterate for the people who are not in our committee, we decided that you can either choose like the more soothing, like painting, bracelet making, slime making, stuff like that, or you can choose to go to like the karate class, and then we have open gym for everyone because it's really hard to do like 20 minutes of each because then it's not effective for either one. Okay. Okay, next we'll be moving on to the community committee as they share updates about their subcommittee meeting and their plans with social media and their post to advertise the fun run. Guys, I know the community committee exists, so. We need updates. What were like your Slack goals? What were you supposed to do?
Basically spoke on, we started our flyer, and then we also started our social media post, which will be shared by this Friday the 10th, and then hopefully posted by the 18th, which is next Friday. And then we also discussed on outreaching to every presentation, lead, prospect, St. Francis, and now there's a couple of schools that are around Campbell, so hopefully get more culture clubs interested in our multicultural event.
Do you remember how many you have signed up so far?
We have two right now, but I just got in contact with the exec member on Prospect, and they just outreached to all the culture clubs in Prospect, so hopefully they get more.
Okay, I thought I heard there was like 7 clubs.
That was before, I think now that like, they actually like, we sent out the form, they're like kind of backing out.
I see. Okay. Okay. So you're saying again, you're gonna connect to do a presentation.
Presentation, Prospect, lead, like St. Francis, like schools that are near Campbell or in the area.
To reach out to them about inviting them for the event. Okay. And do we have a flyer yet for this event? Okay. So who's the lead on the flyer?
Cavally, we all just kind of like work together on it. Yeah,
Is there a working document on Canva?
yeah.
Okay, can you send me the link through Slack? And then this event, we have some time. So I would say also by our subcommittee meeting though, need to have the flyer up to date so that I can make any finalizations on that.
Okay. I just had a question. How many clubs, like roughly, do you have confirmed now after the?
2 clubs confirmed as of right now, but we haven't reached out to many.
Great. Good job on that.
Do we have any kind of Excel document so we know who has been reached out to?
Document all the, yeah, we're just making public clubs and,
Perfect.
I guess plan the time slots.
Okay, perfect.
Right. Last time we talked about like having food and performances for local cultures to like share. Is there any updates on that? Like, do people?
We have 1 club that is willing to do a performance.
Okay.
And then, they're both, sorry. Yeah, one of them is wanting to do a performance and the other wants to have a booth, but they're both from the same culture, so we're just planning to have 1 booth.
Great.
What we decided.
So, sorry if this update wasn't shared last time. To also just encourage participation, we don't need to have one culture part of just one, they can each have their own booth.
Okay.
So,
It's because one of the groups doesn't want to, they just want to do a presentation.
they just want to, okay. And if that's the case, that's totally fine. I think the one thing I would just maybe bring back to them is to say if when they're not doing their presentation, are they just going to be kind of circling the event? Because I guess it's just more of if people have questions, that's where having a table and a simple tablecloth, very like they don't have to go out or anything for their booth. It's just more of you want to have kind of a spot for them so you can say, hey, you can visit them and ask questions over here. So I would encourage you to circle back just to see if they can at least agree to be at a specific space at a table where they can at least have contact information and stuff so that we can point people in that direction if they have questions.
If we need like more engagement or interaction, you could think about like reaching out maybe to like dance clubs or just anyone who wants to give a performance who maybe doesn't want a booth or isn't affiliated with like a certain culture, just, to make the event more lively.
Oh, is that a question?
No, that's just like
Okay.
a,
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea because like we've been reaching out to many like times and we've been persistent.
Good.
But like there's obviously some hesitation to commit to something like this. So I think it would be great to like integrate like other groups like that could tie into the culture or not, even if they don't, like just like and also for the event that has the karate, I think that sounds really cool. So I was like wondering. Cause like I think there's like a summer program, like, but maybe is it like hula or like some sort of like cultural thing? I remember seeing it in the Campbell Recreation, like magazine thing. And that seems like really interesting. And I feel like if we can contact them to like a beginner class or something like that, encourage more like engagement, like.
At the cultural event?
Yeah.
That's a great idea because I didn't even think about that, and that person is one of my instructors, so I can connect with Leela, or sorry, I'm getting 2 different mixed up, Desiree, and see if she teaches classes for youth and teens and adults, and so if interested from the committee, if you think that would be a good opportunity, potentially they might be interested in having a booth and doing a performance. So I think
That's something that we could pay for.
yeah, absolutely.
great idea.
I will add it to the notes so I can follow up. I'll get in contact with Desiree. And then do you know kind of what the hesitation has been? I'm just curious if it's.
We have, our clubs aren't really like united, like there's tensions with the clubs, so like they're all like, as an exec board, there are like some people that, oh, I can't do that, or I don't think this is a good idea. Just
Right,
because
and
of that.
many of the clubs are like, they're not as active on campus
Yeah,
as one would expect,
Mhm.
so it's kind of like, I mean, how can we, like, if they're not, like, completing their meetings for like, at Westmont, then it's gonna, we can't really expect them to
Like
like,
for like
want to do something.
Prospect, at least I was talking to the exec board people, and they were saying how their clubs at Prospect are very like much like they want to
Yeah.
like they want to have like culture present at Prospect, so and like do sign up
Mhm.
following, but what I thought is that the exec board member reached back and they were wondering when the deadline was, and I told them by the end of February, and then I think that's why the clubs are like taking a while, because they do want to talk about it. But
So what I would just say, is something, again, and we can discuss this in more depth in the subcommittee meeting, and luckily your event's in April, but, how do we need to pivot to make this successful and if needed? And that's something to think about too, and just in general with our youth commission as well, or any commissions, is when it's a challenge to make something happen on campus, like you said, how do we expect that to come here, right? So think about that tonight of what alternative opportunities that we can look into to make this a cultural event still, if it's not specifically from the schools, outside organizations. So the homework would be then by the subcommittee meeting to have lists of cultural organizations in Silicon Valley who we can tap into, because, you know, I would say if they only work with adults and it's not open to youth, then, you know, it wouldn't really make sense to probably invite them. But I think that we can expand from high school. Does that seem? Yeah.
Reach out to these organizations, would we go through you, or can we reach out individually?
So right now, it's just coming up with the list of who they are, just like we did with the health and career fair, so that at the subcommittee, I can have a letter for you, so we can then formally invite them.
More official.
Yep, I just need to have, so yeah, no, you don't need to actually communicate. What I need is an email and a phone number and the title of the organization. If you can't find an email on their website, you can call and say, hi, I'd like to get more information or invite you to an upcoming event. Is there an email I can get? Just keep it very general. But so yeah, so a list then from there. So we'll need that by that subcommittee meeting.
Okay, just circling back to the hula class, do you think they would also want to do a performance per chant?
I think she would be very interested. I can't make promises, but
Okay,
yeah.
great. And just kudos to the community committee. I can see that you're like really staying on top of your outreach and like trying hard to make your event a success. So that's great. Mason, did you have something you wanted to say? Oh,
Oh,
it's okay. We can circle back.
No.
Okay. All right. Anything else? I just like the update from Tracy. Like
career and education, I think that must have gotten left off then.
No, the community.
No,
That's it, 12 to 2 instead.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like was there update?
Wow.
'Cause I don't know much. About
Yeah. So the update from the liaison is that we don't have a popcorn machine. That's not something that we're going to be able, if I could get everyone's attention, to have. I do have, I need to test it out, so I'm not making any promises because I don't know how well it works. I bought from Amazon a while ago that I've yet to take out of the box. I do have a snow cone machine, so no promises, but I will test that out. Maybe we can test it at the next subcommittee meeting if everyone wants snow cones, even though we'll be in January, and see if that might work.
Commercial grade popcorn machine that Red Bull donated for the day. I'm happy.
Oh, cool. Well, if
There's a company actually here in Campbell, right over on Hill Avenue, that puts the great
yeah.
popper.
Oh, I mean, if someone, yeah, the donation aspect, because our budget is very, very small, so that would be amazing. Well, I'm gonna get in touch with you then, Chris. That would be amazing. Thank you.
Very nice donut machines too.
I mean, that would be much better than my little Amazon kit. So, so thank you. Okay, we'll definitely get in touch then. But what was not recommended, I know there was a talk about food truck. The challenge with our campus, there's not really a great spot to park. And so if we have that now, people are leaving the area and exactly. So that's the recommendation. But we can, look at providing something like pizza or whatnot. And then the recommendation would be to update the event time instead of from 12 to 2:30, just keep it for 2 hours. Quality over quantity, and do that. So we would need the commission to agree on if we are good with keeping it from 12 to 2.
That sounds great.
Great. Are we all good with that?
Does that include the setup?
No. Just the event itself. Yeah, it's just a 2-hour event. We have plenty of time for setup before and then afterwards for breakdown.
Just to clarify, this is for the multicultural.
Yep, for the cultural event. Yep.
So that's another way to
Mhm.
encourage people to come to your event is by offering them
Yeah.
Volunteer hours.
volunteering hours.
Volunteering.
Yes, so whoever comes, we can sign up.
Oh, yeah. I will get all volunteer hours, Audrey and I will, for these events. The thing is that it's whether the school accepts it, right? So
For your teachers, you didn't empower. More than that, volunteering clubs and organizations at Westmont,
Mhm.
and we accept any hours as long, I mean, the only requirements are a signature and then description of the event, right? So I think we're good on that.
Yeah, and I think it's a very valuable opportunity for sure for teens. So I think they absolutely should get service hours, whether they are participating as event or as like a group or coming in because they want to participate as a team. So great, thank you.
Okay, make sure you like update all of your schools, volunteer like clubs, this sort of thing on the events that we're doing. Number one, to like promote people to come, and number two, to like Gayatri said, help students like get their volunteer hours done. Okay.
Can I add one little thing? For those who are creating the flyers for these events, you know how on Canva you can have multiple flyers in one thing. What I oftentimes will do is I'll have one that's like for the fun run, specific to outreach to our participants to sign up for the race, and then a flyer that's specific to get volunteers, and a flyer that's specific to sponsors. So think about how you can make the same flyer, but then just adjust it based on what you're looking for, so that by that subcommittee meeting, I can have reviewed it, and then we can push it out to the students, push it out to groups, and all the above.
Okay, did you want to share your?
Oh, I suggest that after.
Just go.
For your multicultural fair, I actually have a friend whose father owns like a music school for like Chinese flute. So I could reach out to her if you guys wanted me to, if you guys wanted them to like do a performance, I could ask.
She's very talented, guys.
That would be amazing.
Do you think Rachel would want to? Yeah.
Maybe.
Why? She had her own opera hall.
There's the flyers and everything, Gracie was telling us that you would be able to give us the official logo, do you think, I'm finding a bunch of them that have like watermarks on them, you know.
Yeah, so I just need you to send me the link or whatever's easier. I can send you an existing document and, give anybody with the link has access to edit it. And then place the logos and important information. The important thing is making sure we all have access to edit so that we can make those changes.
So we will share that with you.
Perfect. Just, throw it in Slack.
Okay, and now our Valentine's Fun Run discussion.
I realized though career and education, is there any work plan discussion updates for that? Mhm. So I would say by this Friday would be to also determine, just like the health fair, is to look at the list of people that we've reached out to, and I'll confirm with you over Slack and divide up who's going to reach out to them by phone call or stop by the business. Decide what day you're going to do and divide and conquer, just like the health wellness committee. So we'll connect on Slack, and then again by Friday we'll need to just have that date specific. If you're like, oh, on Saturday, whatever day this is, we're gonna meet up here and go out and do that.
Can I ask like what kind of volunteer opportunities like you're planning on providing? Like, is it internships, shadowing, or like just volunteering at other events?
Generally speaking, it's pretty diverse. It's pretty diverse. So we have stuff all the way from like pet shelters to the YMCA to the Red Cross. Like there's a wide variety, and it's mainly so there's as much opportunity, right? Opportunity as possible.
Great. And have you guys started outreaching, or are you planning on outreaching?
That's what I then sent emails for.
Right. Oh, you already sent
Mhm.
emails. Great.
But there needs to be follow-up.
Okay. So now can we?
Mhm.
Okay, Valentine's. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to comment on it.
So in terms of the job and opportunity and wellness fair, I heard talk about internship opportunities. And this is just me talking as a Campbell resident. over the summer, I did an internship with our assembly member, Mark Berman, and it was really great. And there was also a high school student as well doing it. And I can reach out to one of his staff and see if they would like to table at your event, if that's something that you are open to. I'm sure they would be very willing to. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so then if I get a yes from them, should I email?
Yeah, why don't you just connect with me so that I can send the information from the youth commission, because once we get the flyer up there, we're going to be posting it as well. So other organizations or people that have opportunities might reach out to us directly, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Okay, Valentine's Fun Run discussion. We are planning on having a table like we did last year, I believe. And this should should help with our marketing of all our future events in March. So our multicultural day, our opportunities and wellness fair, and like basically any other event we have after February. So this is why we want to have the flyers done so we can hand them out to people like after they finish their race. And we will also be like volunteering with the race. So handing out medals, helping people like guide the little kids on their fun run, cheering for them. Like I said before, with like basically any event, be happy, be cheerful, because you're cheering other people on. Like, don't worry, we don't have to run the 10K, but you can at least be happy for the people who are. So just a quick reminder. And we will, okay, now we will be selecting the commissioners. Electing the commissioners who will be.
I was going to say, yeah, we need leads for that.
Yeah. Who is like really good at networking and wants to meet some new people. Great. Sarah? Great. So let me write that down. You guys will be leading the table.
Yep.
Yes.
And then I'll put in Slack the volunteer sign up link. That's been handed off to, I'm sure some of you, if you were at the last race, met Liz. She's our aquatic specialist, maybe. So she's handling volunteers. So we'll want to make sure that you officially do sign up for the volunteer list on there so you can receive all communication. And then we'll follow up with the day of just making sure, we want to have everybody wearing youth commission sweatshirts. And then, be prepared for what that table lane looks like.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, like we said before, flyers need to be finalized before, so that's why January 27th and printed by the 8th, so we can give them out. I think we're okay. New business, the Campbell Library update with Mrs. Evans. Ms. Evans.
Hello. I am your new librarian, your young adult librarian over at our little Campbell Express Library. We do have some exciting news. We are hoping, very lucky, to be open at the end of summer. So we'll be back in the renewed building down the street the end of summer. But in the meantime, I am doing a monthly craft grab and go kit. So please spread the news. We have crafts that you can take home and do. And just in general, I'm here to help as a resource. We do outreach to the library too all the time. So any questions, any help you need, I'm happy to help. And I also just wanted to say hi. This is me. I'm Gwyneth. I love reading and many other things, but I'm your new librarian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we think we could share like the monthly craft grab and go kit with our schools? Because I think that's a really great idea and it sounds really fun.
And you're on my to-do list to connect and send the formal email inviting for our opportunities and wellness fair on March the 1st. So
Wait, are you guys having a booth there, right?
that's the invite. Gracie and you were connecting first, so I wanted to wait till you were here to formally invite you. So yeah.
Oh, sorry. Any comments? No? Okay. Okay, just calendar reminders and just quick information. We have our next Youth Commission Subcommittee meeting. Sorry, guys. January 27th, Lauren will be joining us. Great. And then our Valentine's Day fun run is Saturday, February 8th. Do we know the time for that?
Typically, we have volunteers come around 8:15, 8-ish. So yeah, they'll be in
Like 8 to 12.
yeah, we're usually done by like 11:30.
Okay, so expect 8 to 12-ish. And then March 1st is Teen Wellness Day and Opportunities Fair, so that's coming up quick, so we have to get all of our stuff done. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions, comments, concerns? Great, then I hereby adjourn this meeting.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I I will hey everyone, real quick. I'll follow up on I look forward to receiving the notes from tonight. And then I will follow up on Slack for the two main things for this Friday. I wanted to know is what dates you plan to physically go out and say hello to businesses, organizations, nonprofits to invite them for the event for that follow-up and continue to spread the word. So that's the goal for this Friday. I will follow up with Slack with what those expectations are.